My name is Susan Cook, and welcome to the Story of Oil. Gasoline is made from crude oil. The crude oil pumped out of the ground is a black liquid called petroleum. The task of finding oil is assigned to geologists. Their task is to find the right conditions for an oil trap, the right source rock, reservoir rock, and entrapment. Many years ago, geologists interpreted surface features, surface rock, and soil types, and perhaps some small core samples obtained by shallow drilling. Modern oil geologists also examine surface rocks and terrain with the additional help of satellite images. The Alaska Pipeline is an amazing structure that carries oil from wells in the very far north of Alaska down to the ice-free port in Valdez, Alaska, where tankers pick up and transport the oil. The pipeline is 800 miles long and 4 feet in diameter. Sometimes it's above ground and sometimes below. And in the process, it crosses something like 800 rivers and streams. More than 1 million barrels of crude oil move through the pipeline each day. How are we supposed to transport this crude oil from such remote locations as the Alaskan wilderness or the middle of the ocean? The answer is huge oil tankers. The first oil tankers were built in the 1860s and propelled by wind-powered sails. Modern tankers are like the one shown here. What are the consequences of producing mass amounts of crude oil? Environmental accidents are a great concern. Supertankers can be a source of concern, but they aren't the only sources of oil spills. Underwater pipelines, offshore oil drilling rigs, and coastal storage facilities and refineries all have the potential to accidentally release crude oil into the water. It's fortunate that oil and water mix like oil and water. When an oil spill occurs, the oil forms a millimeter-thick slick that floats on the water. The oil eventually spreads out, thinning as it does until it becomes a widespread sheen on the water. How fast a cleanup crew can reach a spill, along with other factors like waves, currents, and weather, determine what method a team uses to clean the spill. Fortunately, due to stricter penalties and better ship design, the number of oil spills has decreased since the oil shipping boom began in the 1960s. Unfortunately, they haven't been eliminated. The problem with crude oil is that it contains hundreds of different types of hydrocarbons all mixed together. You have to separate the different types of hydrocarbons to have anything useful. Fortunately, there is an easy way to separate things, and this is what oil refining is all about. Different hydrocarbon chain lengths all have progressively higher boiling points, so they can all be separated by distillation. This is what happens in an oil refinery. In one part of the process, crude oil is heated, and the different chains are pulled out by their vaporization temperatures. Each different chain length has a different property that makes it useful in a different way. Every 42 U.S. gallon barrel of crude provides a little more than 44 gallons of petroleum products. During the refinery process, there can be extreme pressure buildup, which can stop or significantly slow the production of the refinery. Flares like this one help to reduce the risks to these slowdowns or dangers to the refineries and its staff. However, they can have negative effects on the environment. Up to 170 billion cubic meters of natural gas are flared by the world's oil producers every year. The economic value amounts to 40 billion. But the burden on the Earth's atmosphere in warming emissions like methane and carbon dioxide is enormous. Gas flaring also harms the climate. The hydrocarbon mixture known as natural gas has 20 times the greenhouse gas or warming potential of CO2. After crude oil is refined, the finished product needs to get to the consumer. Tank trucks will come to the fill stations at the refineries, and off it goes. A tank truck is distinguished by its shape, usually a cylindrical tank upon the vehicle which lies horizontally. During all those trips to the pump, Have you ever stopped to wonder where the gas in the service station dispenser comes from, or how it gets from the dispenser to your car's gas tank? Pumping gas may seem like a simple matter of lifting a pump, pushing some buttons, and sometimes swiping a credit card through a reader, but as you have seen so far, the process isn't as simple as you may have thought. Not only do tank trucks deliver gasoline to the gas stations, but heating oil, which is a flammable liquid petroleum, is commonly delivered by tank truck to residential, commercial, and municipal buildings and stored in above-ground storage tanks located in the basements, garages, or outside adjacent to the building. Our journey has come to an end, but it is not really over because our world is so dependent on crude oil for many different reasons. The process must begin again. But ask yourself one question: will the supply continue to meet our growing demands?